Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is BobLyn, aka PabLoon, and today we are taking a look at the top 5 noob ships. And you can see we're highlighting the Smolensk here, so you can already kind of guess that the Smolensk is definitely going to be on the list. And the gameplay is, of course, a Smolensk gameplay, and then we have some Austin gameplay to back up after this. So, I first off want to start off by saying that thank you guys so much for the support on the last top 5 video. That was really a popular video, it seemed. So I think I'm going to continue the trend here. And for this one, like I said, we're going to be talking about the top 5 noob ships. Now when I say noob ship, there are different definitions. We have some here that are ships that I call noob ships because they are easy to play, they can produce a lot of damage and have a high impact in the game, and anyone can play the ship. So without further ado, let's start with the first one. And the first one on my list, the reason this is a noob ship is because it's very easy to play. Now just because it's a noob ship does not mean it's a bad ship. And this one is the Colombo. Now I recently posted a video about Colombo and I think I found out why people like it so much. Holy crap, that is a fun ship. 16 381mm guns, smoke screen, spotting plane, and then it's also a pretty good brawler with some 360 turrets in the rear. All around a very easy ship to play, and the reason it's a noob ship in my opinion is because that a lot of newer players tend to flock to the Colombo, and for good reason. So the Colombo is, well, we're seeing him right here. It's also a very powerful ship. If you're a light cruiser like the Smolensk or Jinan, Austin, you could get blapped from full health to nothing in a very short succession because of the 16 guns. And it can also blap destroyers, which, I mean, makes it even more fun, right? But a lot of new players tend to play that ship, and you just see so many Colombo players pushing in like this guy right here, thinking they're very tanky because they're a battleship, but the reality of it is Colombo is not a very tanky ship. That is probably why it has fuel smoke. It needs that little bit of extra concealment and help to not get completely annihilated. But nonetheless, the Colombo is a very fun ship, and I think like I said that in my video too, I gave it a bad rep for nothing. I think it's because I've been blapped by it so many times that I decided that this is the OP ship, blah blah blah. No, it's not OP. It is perfectly balanced actually in my opinion, but it is definitely a noob magnet. And when I use this term noob, please don't take it personally, guys. If you enjoy these ships, that is totally cool and up to you. I personally really don't like Smolensk because there are so many of them, but I also play Smolensk myself. There's a difference between playing a ship like the Smolensk or the Slava or the what can we think of, the Colombo, for example, but playing them all the time, that is when you become a little bit annoying in my opinion, but that's not what this video is about. But yeah, that's number 5, and I actually forgot about this one right here. We're gonna do an honorable mention, and that is gonna be the Friesland. And I think Red Gaming Dino put me up to this because the Friesland is, holy shit, what an easy ship to play. You have 4 smoke 2, you have insanely fast reloading guns that can pretty much fight any DD that's not a DD hunter. You can burn battleships down, you have good AA, you have a sonar. Like Friesland, if you want to get to diamond or master rank in ranked tier 9, you just play Friesland. It is the easiest ship in the world. Like, there's a reason I prefer Groningen, the Groningen, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Groningen. There's a reason I prefer playing that ship, and it's simply because it's more interesting. Because you don't have the smokes like Friesland does, you are much more prone to having to move, whereas the Friesland, you just smoke up and you just press that button, spam spam spam. Your thumb is gonna be sore after playing Friesland for a couple hours. So that is the honorable mention of this top 5. So honorable mention goes to Friesland, number 5 goes to Colombo. Now this next one is definitely a noob ship. This is the noob magnet of the game, and some of you guys might be able to guess which one this is. And the reason it's not very high on the list is because it's not that annoying. You can really easily deal with this, but the Shimakazi is the biggest noob magnet of this game. Every new player and their mother is going to be playing the Shimakazi. Or they're like, oh, I want to be a stealthy samurai ninja who, you know, can send torpedoes and go flank. And you see so many Shimakazi players go on the wide flank, they go for stupid rushes on battleships thinking it's going to be high impact, but it is also just kind of hilarious if you ask me. The Shimakazi has gotten the reputation of being the noobiest of newbie ships in the game. But please do not be discouraged to play this ship, because there are some Shimakazi players out there who are devastatingly powerful in that ship. It can one-shot almost any ship in the game. And a couple of torpedoes from a Shimakazi into something like a Smolensk, man, you're toast. So it's not to say the ship is bad. It's not the best, but it's the people who play it that make it a noob ship. I mean, it is easy. You have very good stealth, you have speed boost, and you have one smoke, and then you have 15 of them, some of the most powerful torpedoes in the game. I'm pretty sure they are the most powerful, maybe next to the Jinan and Sejong's torpedoes. But yeah, Shimakazi, it's a noob ship. There's not much to say about it, to be honest. It's I don't even have it myself. If I did have it, I would have shown some gameplay, but in my opinion, it's also just a little bit boring. I mean, I don't know. And a lot of Shimakazi players, if you're watching this, and if newer players are watching this, Shimakazi is a, like I said, very good ship. But don't forget your guns. Those Shimakazi guns, they are pretty devastating against other DDs. Yes, they have a very slow traverse speed. Yes, they have a long reload, but they hit hard. So you can always see the difference between a good and a bad Shimakazi player. The good Shimakazi players, when they know, okay, I'm detected, I can't get away just right now, I have to kite away, shoot my guns. Those are the devastating Shimakazi players. But let's move on to the number 3. Now for the number 3 spot, we have the ship we're actually seeing me play right here, the Smolensk. I decided to play Smolensk for this video because, well, it's on the list. And the reason Smolensk is on the list is because even my grandmother could get 100k damage in this ship. And to be honest, it is the easiest ship to play in tier 10, like when it comes to light cruisers. Your AP is insane, your HE is insane, you have 16 guns with a, I think it's a 4.5% fire chance, with a sub 5-second reload. It is crazy good, and the dispersion, the shell arcs, the velocity of the shells is through the roof. So for that reason only, this is a very, very easy ship to play. A lot of noobs can pick this up and play it. You get smokes, and this is smoke 2. But it's still easy to punish. That's why I have a kind of ambivalent with Smolensk, because honestly it is a difficult ship to play in a very competitive game where there's a lot of good players, because you will just get focused. But this game has a lot of new players, and obviously those players will not be knowing what to do. They'll just be pushing in, doing whatever they please, and you're gonna get farmed by a Smolensk. That is why this ship is so easy to play. You sit in the smoke, you get fire after fire after fire, you can destroy DDs. There's nothing really that the Smolensk has trouble dealing with, in my opinion, except for CVs. So that is why it gets the number 3. Now for the number 2 spot on my list, this one is a pet peeve of mine. This is the Slava, and I kind of see the Slava as the battleship equivalent of Smolensk. Easy to use guns, very, very good penetration values, and extremely good range. This is the battleship noob's dream. You can sit and spawn, you don't even have to move a fucking muscle, and you can hit anything at any distance. There are so many Slavas nowadays, and Wargaming, I've said this multiple times, please stop releasing crates for Smolensk and Slava. Make something different. People are tired of seeing them. They are all over matchmaking, especially in EU since we got the Eastern Europe server. And Slava is a noob ship because it takes literally 0 skill. You don't even have to, the shells aren't hard to use, the velocity isn't hard. It's just sit in the back of the map, point, click. It's kind of like a dive bomber on a midway. I mean, come on. And can we just talk about the fact that I have not put a CV in this whole list so far, but if it was up to me, all 5 ships would be CVs in this list, because I think all CVs, except for some, are just noob ships. They're just noob magnets. But the Slava in general is, it's still not a, you know, it's not a hard ship to deal with. You can easily penetrate a Slava's deck. You can easily punish a Slava. But where the Slava is a noob ship is because of how easy it is to get high damage with. There's a lot of players in this game that probably could, you know, they might just need a challenge or something, but they tend to flock to Slava because, like I said, you just sit in the spawn and you just shoot away. most of the times for Slava, they don't even get close enough to the enemy. They just sit there and farm. And I've played it. It is dumb easy. It is even easier to play than Smolensk, because at least with Smolensk, you kind of have to think about your positioning, when to use your smokes, how to turn, how to dodge. There's a lot of different aspects. But with the Slava, it's just, just sit back, camp, and shoot your guns. I would love to have it, because I think it's a very, stress-relieving ship. I think if you have Slava, you're just like, okay, I can just relax, have some fun, shoot my guns, get a massive amount of citadels, and that's that. But yeah, Slava is number 2, and now for the number 1 ship. And the number 1 ship, I think everyone can agree on this. It is the Indomitable at tier 8. The tier 8 carrier that only has dive bombers and has some of the strongest planes in the whole game that can barely get destroyed. It is such an easy ship, and it's actually a joke. It's a fucking joke, excuse my language. That this game's motto is the thinking man's action game, and the Indomitable is literally just 3 dive bombers. You click on a ship, you wait for them to attack and come back, that's it. And if you have somewhat of a brain cell, just a tiny brain cell, you might actually use your fighters that are really good. This ship is the biggest noob ship in my opinion. The whole difference between all the other ones on this list is you can counter them. You can actually do something about them. The Colombo, easy to punish. Smolensk, easy to punish. Same with Slava. Same with Shimakazi. Friesland, a little bit more difficult, to be honest. Friesland is it could be a difficult ship to deal with, but the Indomitable, it's a CV. It sits far back and it can run away and it can deal damage without taking damage. I think Indomitable is one of the most toxic ships they have ever released in this game, and the problem is that they keep releasing it because a lot of noobs just they just like that point and click adventure, man. It's so fun. It's like a cookie clicker game. Oh, how many times can I click on a ship before they get burnt to a crisp? So yeah, that is my list for the top 5 noob ships, and like I said, this is my opinion, guys. You don't have to agree with me. I don't mean to offend anyone by calling your favorite ship a noob ship, but look, if you play Smolensk and you have over 5,000 battles in Smolensk or Slava, maybe you have a problem. Maybe you should try other ships. I mean, maybe you need a challenge, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. My name has been BobLyn, aka PabLoon, and I'm signing out.